Caleb, here we go. How are we going to make this fit? Because you've got 5 players and we've got 4 downs. So you tell me how we're going to do this while Cooper Mays tells you.
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Do it. And don't forget to hit that bell, turn the notifications on. So, Caleb, I'll let you lead it off as it is online right now. 5 balls to watch for NC State. I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and do it this way.
Well, there's 2 players at one position. That can be a down.
Perfect. All right. First down. Is it Coop?
Coop here. First down.
All right. You tell me.
So both linebackers are on this list. Arian Carter and Keenan Peely. NC State has a very creative rushing attack. They run a lot of RPOs. They go very horizontal. That translates to a lot of big plays, but they also give up a lot of tackles for a loss. NC State was one of the worst teams last year in allowing tackles for a loss. I think they allowed 87 tackles for a loss on them all year. So that just screams Keenan Peely and Arian Carter. It screams Arian Carter really having his breakout game this week and showing everybody that he's a superstar. Keenan Peely is as crucial because of another thing I'm about to get to, where he's got to be crucial also in the passing game because NC State works the tight ends and the running backs. So they're both going to have to step up in a big way.
Yep, agreed. And NC State likes to run a lot of reverses and things with the Concepcion, not Dave Concepcion of the Reds, but that's probably before your time. The Concepcion kid is a very good receiver. They like to run him out of the backfield. They like to run reverses, so you better stay at home. That's a very good call, having 2 linebackers in the top 5. I agree with you there. Who's the next guy?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
Is it? It is. All right. So why is he one of the most important players to watch?
I don't know, Dave. I wonder why. Nico Iamaleava is his Heisman campaign began last week. This is the week we start talking about him seriously in the Heisman. Now, I told you guys that he'll be the most talked about player in college football by the end of September after the Oklahoma game. But this is the week where at least the odds should move him into a top 2 Heisman candidate. I think Dave, he should get, I think you might see his odds go up to like plus 700 after Saturday if he does what he's supposed to do. He needs to really show up. This is his game to have people start talking about Nico for Heisman outside of Knoxville.
I could see that. This is against a quality opponent. And do you think NC State's better than Iowa last year? See, I do.
Yeah, I do. I do.
I feel like we're picking from 2 ugly girls that's closing time at the bar. But
but they're not too ugly, and they're probably a lot of fun.
I don't know what that means, and I hope your lovely wife is not watching. So Nico's very important, needless to say. He will have a tremendous game on Saturday against a pretty veteran group of defensive backs that we're going to talk about. But I think Nico continues to play well. I don't think you've seen very much of Nico yet, to be quite frank with you, and I think you're going to continue to see this offense evolved. If you agree, hit like and subscribe. Before we get to third down, I want to remind you, Medicare Misty can answer all your Medicare needs, and she's registered in over 40 states. So if you're watching this, she can help you out. Link right down below. Here's Medicare Misty.
19 years this year. I've been in the community since 1993. You're getting a lot of information. Unlike when you were working, they made the choice for you. Now you have to make the choice. Come to us and let us help you make it easy. Call Medicare Misty, MedicareMisty.com or 423-777-5577. Let us help them sleep at night.
And we call her Medicare Misty.
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe. Tennessee Center, Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Thank you, Coop. Third down. And Caleb, as people can follow this on offthehooksports.com, you have Boo Carter as the second most important ball to watch or most important player, or how do you want to phrase it exactly?
Yeah, he's either one of those works. Second most important Vol. So you just brought up Kevin Concepcion. And Dave, one thing that's kind of intriguing about him is that he's I think like 5'10". He's not that big, and their other go-to guy is Justin Jolly. So it's the slot receivers and the tight ends that they work, which was why I brought Keenan Peele in. That also puts a lot of pressure on the star position this day and age. And Boo Carter had a splash of a first game against Chattanooga, showed some promise. This is when he gets really tested. This is when we find out if he's a guy that's capable of starting as a freshman or not, because he's going to get worked a lot in this one.
Yeah, he's going to get worked, and I think that he has all the physical ability. We're going to talk about his maturity or maybe lack thereof, and what went viral, and that was him celebrating in the locker room. I thought that was playful fun. I don't have a problem with that at all. Probably not bright to do it in the locker room. But, Caleb, I think you're going to see Boo Carter be one of about 5 players, and I'm not calling the Vols to watch, but 5 players along with Ricky Gibson that are going to have impacts in this game that essentially were held out of a preseason game against Chattanooga. Pretty much.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Boo Carter, Ricky Gibson. Although Boo Carter did have an impact against Chattanooga, though. Didn't he? He had 2 hurries. I saw him all over the field at least.
And 2 tackles. But just an increased level as long as he proves he can stay home against Concepcion. That's the one thing that scares me, again, with the reverse and misdirection stuff. They run a lot of that stuff. So that would be my concern with a true freshman. But again, somebody that has been at Tennessee for over 30, 40 years. And I said this at the time, and Caleb's eyes just about popped out of his head. Said, think of Del Carter and Eric Berry when you think of Boo Carter. I mean, those are some of the all-time bests. And so far, he's living up to it, right?
If you're doing an all-time Tennessee football team, your secondary is going to involve Dale Carter and Eric Berry.
Yep. Agreed. What down's next?
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. 4th down.
What player must we keep an eye on? As I will share this story in our link, but who should we keep an eye on? Who's the number 1 player come Saturday?
Squirrel White. So last week, NC State gave up 6 catches, not for 97 yards, to AJ Colombo, the Western Carolina slot receiver, who's only 5'8", I think 170 pounds. Suggests that they're going to work the slot a lot. And Squirrel White did make an impact last week because Dante Thornton and Chris Brazel and Brew McCoy, the Whiteouts, were getting all the work. I think this week that changes. I think a lot of those guys are going to shift coverage over to them, which is going to leave a lot of open lanes for Squirrel White to have a chance to make a lot of big plays. Whether or not he makes those big plays is totally up for debate, but Tennessee desperately needs Squirrel White to have a Jalen Hyatt type game from 2022.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I think that Tennessee worked their outside receivers specifically to show people a different look and work them over the middle as well. I don't think the offense really is going to look much like it did in some phases as we move on, because I think Josh Heupel, not only did he rest a lot of starters against Chattanooga, which I'd never heard of in my life, but he did rest a lot of starters such as Ricky Gibson, who could have gone, and he said that. But I believe that Tennessee's offense is going to continue to evolve in a very positive fashion. Last year, all you could do basically is throw on the perimeter, hope the running game held up, and hope that you didn't turn the ball over. Caleb, now they can work the middle of the field. I think Dylan Sampson's going to be valuable in the flats, and I think this offense is just going to continue to grow and evolve. Any disagreement on that?
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that. And what we saw from the offense last week is not going to be par for the course with the weapons they always use.